In this video, we will go over two examples of shading Venn diagrams. In this first example, we're supposed to shade the complement of B and C on this Venn diagram to the right. So it's really important how we read this and how we interpret what this is asking us to do. So we're supposed to shade the complement of B and C. So that means we first need to know where on this Venn diagram is B and C. So that's the intersection of B and C. So where do B and C overlap? Okay, so we go to our Venn diagram and I look for the set B and the set C, and then I see where their two circles overlap, and I see it's right here in this little segment. So I'm going to outline that because it's not what they told me to shade, but they told me to shade the complement of that. So now I'm going to shade everything else. Because remember, the complement is everything in the universal set that is not that thing. And we just outlined what the thing was, and now we want to shade everything that's in the universal set, which is denoted by this square or rectangle here, that is not in B and C. So we're going to leave out that B and C that we outlined, but everything else gets shaded. So it's really important to start with that piece that they asked us to identify, not to shade, so that we can shade everything else. So there we have shaded the complement of B and C, everything not B and C. Let's try another one. The second one says to use the Venn diagram to shade the complement of A. Okay, so this time we're going to, again, instead of beginning with the complement part, because we know the complement part is actually pretty easy once we determine what the thing is that we're leaving out. What is the thing that we're leaving out? That's A. So now I'm going to go to my Venn diagram and I'm going to find where is A. Well, here is the set A. Now the set A is this entire circle. So I'm actually going to outline this entire circle, and nothing in this circle gets shaded. But since we need to shade the complement, we get to shade everything in the universal set that is not in A, that's not in that circle that includes the set A. So we're going to shade everything outside of A. There we go, we left out A. Now I know a few of you are probably wondering, so I'm just going to address this now. You're probably thinking, well, okay, but what about this part right here? That's in B, so can't we shade it? We cannot shade it, because while it is in B, it's also in A. And we have to leave out everything in A. We're completely shading the complement of A. And while these other pieces do lie in other sets, they are still a part of A because they are overlapping regions. So for example, this region right here is A and C. So yes, you're right, it still does live in the set C, but we can't forget it does live in the set A. And when we're shading the complement of A, it cannot be an A, period. So we have to leave out everything that possibly is an A, which is why I left out that entire circle.